Hey, what's up, everyone out there? Thanks so much for tuning into another episode of the Addicted Fishing Podcast. We're back again. We've been pretty consistent with these things. Clint's been editing them in a timely manner. I knew I'd get a giggle out of camera with that one. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, if you're lucky enough to be one of our YouTube members, look at this little ambient candle that we have lit for you guys.
What flavor is it?
Mood lighting.
Mood lighting for you out there.
Tropical rainforest.
Tropical rainforest. Before we get this podcast kicked off, we are going to say shout out to our sponsor, Nick Wax. If you guys don't know what Nick Wax is, it's basically a waterproofing material that allows you to restore your Gore-Tex. And with lots of rain coming to the Northwest and lots of other places, you better get yourself some Nick Wax. We got a code down in the description below if you're on YouTube. So shout out to Nick Wax. Thanks for sponsoring the podcast. And today I think we're going to talk about some coho, huh? I know Jordan's been getting them in the rivers. I haven't really fished much for coho. I've been getting ready for elk season, but Cam, have you fished for coho yet?
I've been getting them out in Columbia, a couple, but no, I haven't even tried yet. The king fishing's been too good, and honestly, I'm just going to kind of bide my time and wait for a little bit of rain.
Wait for some rain.
Yeah, even if we don't get the rain, though, some of our dam-controlled rivers are going to start getting fish, and we're getting damn close to bee run season. I know the guys out the coast have been giving it to them pretty good the last week or so. They're on their way, but they're probably just taking their time to get here. Right now, we got this big high pressure. It's like 75 degrees, 80 degrees every day. I don't think they're in any hurry. Leaves are on the trees, you know. But I did pump up the raft yesterday, though.
Nice.
I thought that was cool. Gotta get that ready slowly. But so
Where are you
definitely
rafting?
thinking about it.
Where are you going to raft?
Your favorite rivers, everywhere. No, I don't know. Just, I was going to say, wherever there's water, no. I mean, it's just, like I said, got the raft ready, got the jet put on the boat. So it's like, the second it's time to go play, I'll be ready. So,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What do you like to do mostly? Let's talk a little bit of tactics out there. What's your like top 3 go-to tactics when you're going to target some of these coho?
For like right now?
Yeah. Say like the first couple rains.
Yeah, so like right now, if I was going to go, I'd be ripping Brad's Wigglers. I mean, as much as we love twitching, if we, some of the rivers I fish, if we have super, super, super clear water, I mean, twitching is just, I'm going to be like the guy to say it, twitching is just not that effective compared to something that rips by the fish. If a fish has time to sit there and look at, what's that?
Stare at
it. A twitching jig is if you're doing it right and you're working the bottom, is a fairly slow presentation. And yeah, you'll get those like.
Sounds like another challenge we need to set forth.
No, I'd be down for that. Like we go to our local river right now. Like I'll throw wigglers, you twitch. We'll see what happens.
Let's do it. I'm in.
All right, we're out of here. See you guys.
Let's go right now.
Let's go right now. No, and I mean like you can catch fish on both, but ultimately like especially with clients, it's like.
No, I remember last year we had similar conditions and we were all twitching. We were getting a few fish twitching, but you were definitely smashing some fish on wigglers.
It was automatic. The wigglers, they just zip by the fish. These fish aren't feeding, right? And when you have visibility that's like 2-3 feet or less, and you're twitching, and that fish is sitting in a box, and he can only see 2 feet off each side of his head, and then all of a sudden something's in his wheelhouse.
In and out.
That's what gets him to bite. I mean, I'm convinced of it. I've seen him move too much in the water, seen how they act. Yeah, you'll get those fresh ones that will like run your stuff down in a riffle, run it 30 feet over to the boat. You'll get those, but at the end of the day, it's like for the majority of them, they won't.
What about on the smaller rivers though that we fish? Because we smash some fish on twitching jigs when really really clear water on some of the smaller rivers,
especially in some of those tidal you know what I mean. Some of those
That's
tidal
true.
areas, and like I said, I think even in those clear rivers where the spots that the fish they're more kegged up and they're more finite, like where they cannot.
They're fresher, a lot more aggressive.
Let's be honest. Like the river I'm talking about, they can sit. They'll be laying all over like a 40-foot hole, and they'll be over there and over there. And I mean, will you still get them? Yeah. Will you get enough of them? I don't know. Will you get more on wigglers? I think so. But just like there's no silver bullet. There's no silver bullet twitching. You're gonna have to play your conditions and figure out what you're gonna do. And sometimes twitching isn't necessarily the jam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it's bobber and egging in a riffle. Spinners. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. Like sometimes I'd rather throw a spinner than a twitching jig, and it takes a lot for me to say that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like as the conditions change, though, yeah, I mean, twitching obviously becomes deadly effective too. You can we have the heavier lead, the heavier weighted twitching jigs, the 3/4 and the 1 ounce, and
I think a lot of people too, like me, just prefer to catch fish on certain things.
Yep.
Like I just really enjoy twitching, so it's just something I like to do. So even when the conditions may not be perfect for it, I'm probably still going to throw.
it.
Yeah.
That's how I discovered, diverting a little bit. That's how you discover that, everyone thinks worms don't work in clear water, and it's like when you fish worms all the time, you realize worms work really good in clear water.
Yeah, but so does jig and prawn.
Oh,
and
yeah,
would you say
sure.
that? So right now, going off of that discussion with the twitching jigs, like work all the time, worms work all the time. But is there a lot of times where you'd rather throw like a small jig and bait over a worm?
100%.
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like the same analogy, like with when we're talking about twitching and like a wiggler. Like sometimes the presentation, it just suits. Yeah. Will they bite a pink worm? Sure, but they'll probably be a little more apt to grab that jig and bait, or
What about a spinner?
Or a spinner.
Because same thing, because it's whipping right by
I think it's fast. I think it's obnoxious.
It's just on a lot of the rivers we fish, it's hard to get spinners down right into the fish's face.
That's
why
it.
wigglers
And that's also why I think twitching jigs, like I said, when it's right for them, there's nothing better. You can drop that 3/4 or that 1 ounce right on top of their head. They cannot move. You get it right in their box, and they're going to bite it. But I think you got to be diverse. Like I think you've got to have. You cannot be a one trick pony. Like you can't. You're going to show up to the river.
All in the box. I mean,
Do you think any of the guys in the Midwest twitch?
No, but I'd love to find out.
they will now.
They will know. How many of you Midwest people out there watching
We
or
need to
listening
do
to
that.
these Twitch jigs for Coho and Chinook? We want to know.
Yeah, we should
I'm
ask
sure
the people
some of them
on-
do.
We
I
should
mean,
ask that on our live feed tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them do. I mean, man, we've been talking about it for a few years now.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, if they're all running bobber and eggs, you know what's going to happen to the first guy's going to walk down there with the twitching jig. He's going to light them up because those fish ain't seeing that stuff before. So there's that too.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. So eggs. Are you doing anything special for eggs?
Right now, if I was fishing some eggs for coho, like I said, the water's low, the water's clear, they want cover. You know what I mean? I'd be fishing riffles, and in fact, the only couple times I've even ventured up into some of the smaller rivers, the couple buddies in their boats, was we were basically just side drifting or bobber dogging eggs through riffles and through runs, and actually caught fish.
Yeah.
I think they.
Jordan said he got some fish on eggs today, doing the same thing.
Yeah, eggs. Coho love eggs. So.
What fish doesn't?
Right. Right. But like I said, I think if you just showed up every day to the river with a twitching jig and you didn't have wigglers or you didn't have eggs, or if you showed up every day with eggs or if you showed up every day with wigglers, like you're going to miss out. Sometimes those conditions just don't lend themselves well to that presentation.
Yeah. That's a fact. So you think we still need a little bit more rain before we really start seeing a lot of fish in the rivers here in the Northwest?
I'm a little concerned because our late run was really not supposed to be that strong. And we've had a lot of A-run coho running around some of these tributaries, and numbers have been good. Some of the hatchery returns have been honestly off the charts. Over Bonneville, the numbers have been good. The question is it just going to keep going? Are we going to see this coho fishing all the way past Thanksgiving and into Christmas like some years we see, or is it going to be pretty, short-lived and be like a one water event? I don't really know.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Seems like every year we still get fish.
Well, they've been underneath everything. Like the forecast.
It's not like it was in 2000 and whatever year 6 or whatever that was when it was insane. But
when we had
it seems
8.
like we always still get fish. When we had
Yeah, and we move, and we have to. We know we'll travel and we'll have to drive and move around for fish a little bit too.
the
But
fun part of it.
Could you imagine if that river with a K was as good as it was every time, that one year?
Yeah. It was a 6
That
fish
was so
limit.
good.
Or the one
it was
with-
a 6
or
fish
the
limit.
one-
You could cast literally anywhere and
or
catch
the
one
one with an
It
L.
did not matter.
Or the one with an L
All of
that we
them.
caught, that there was 80,000 of them that returned that year.
Yeah.
80,000 in that river. I've got a picture. I'll try to
It's
find
just,
it for you.
Why are we
remember
not doing that?
That
Why?
year that the river with a K was so good, me and my dad went up there after work and walked down the hill, and these dudes were leaving, and I was like, "Why? They don't have any fish. Why are they leaving?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe there's no fish in this hole." And I literally cast it like 3 feet off the bank, and boom, fish, and then boom, fish. We ended up taking home 12 fish that evening after work. It was just nuts.
I remember I was posting pictures like this
Yeah, dude.
off my river, and people were just flaming me because that was literally every day. Oh, I said it.
Bleep.
Well, whatever.
Bleep.
That was literally every day for like a month straight, and there were some mornings we were killing 36 hatcheries, and then
That wasn't
but
even
putting
even
back,
that, yeah.
14, 15 wilds as well,
Because it was just nuts.
and it was just like crazy.
Someday we'll be back there again. Someday.
Gotta plan them.
Oh yeah,
Gotta
good
plan
stuff,
them to
good
get them,
stuff.
boys.
But yeah, hopefully we'll get there, and hopefully this year they have literally underpredicted everything coming from the sockeye,
yeah,
the
how
summer
far off are they
Chinook,
on
the
the
fall
Chinook?
Chinook, the Coho Jacks, the A Run going at Bombville. They have missed every single one in a good way, I guess. But they've missed it so bad that even like the Columbia River is opening up for 2 Chinook limits
That's what I was
starting
gonna say.
tomorrow. And
It's cool that they
yeah, my concern,
then you get so many of these like, okay, we're going to give you these 2 days. Oh, we got some more fish. Oh, we'll give you a couple more days. Oh, wait, no, there's more fish. Oh, here, we'll give you this.
Oh, and now we'll just open it wide open now that all those
just
fish
let
are
us
gone and we
fish.
actually know how many there are. Well, and here's the real
People
fun.
upriver get to catch them.
People upriver get to catch them. But here's the sad
the
part. There's a
color of my
lot of
shoe.
these rivers that are shutting down for these B-run coho because they don't think they're going to get the numbers, but yet they're going to have main stem commercial gillnet fisheries like 4 days a week starting next week. Like literally, it's like, wait a second. So are we concerned about these fish? Do you think you're going to get enough? Because chances are those guys out there are going to catch and they're going to kill hatcheries and wilds. Mm-hmm. And yet we're just turning a blind eye to that. So there's definitely some points that need to be brought up at some of the next meetings here over the next week. Because, I think that's kind of a glaring contradiction.
What rivers closed? Are they already closed?
They are going to close on October 15th.
Which ones?
My favorite.
Good ones?
My river. October 15th, I can't keep a coho in that river.
What?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What about the other
Dude, they're
rivers?
so dumb.
Nope.
And then a bunch are going to come back and they're going to be like, oh, whoops.
Yep.
Whoops.
Or a bunch aren't going to come back because they get there's not going to be that many of them, and they're going to get sluiced by the main stem gillnet fisheries, which are very effective with 3.5-inch mesh nets, which is what they're using. Yeah, so so what is it? Like, what is it, boys? Do we have enough fish that we can warrant a 4-day-a-week freaking gillnet fishery that's going to mop up, quote unquote, mop up? Because I love how they use that term because they need to have mop up fisheries because the sports can't catch enough yet. We have yet to have a sport season go on the Columbia River that has gone open every single day for a 2-fish limit in the last, 1 year out of 10.
Yeah.
So it's like, so no, obviously we're catching, quote unquote, too many, or we are capable of catching too many to where they restrict us so much, but yet then they feel like they need to have mop-up fisheries for the commercial fishery when we can't even keep a hatchery fish in some of these tributaries. It's the most absolutely asinine, ridiculous thing in the world.
Yeah, that sounds
And
absolutely.
it needs to be brought up. It'll probably get brought up a lot tonight on the live feed.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
God, our state are so
It's just, no, I don't know. What is it? So what is it? Like, tell me what it is. Like, yeah, it's pretty sad. Sad state of affairs.
Why does that happen? Why? I don't understand why we still have gillnets in the Columbia River, dude. There's nowhere on the in the United States that they do that.
I know that they fish freshwater.
Yeah. I don't.
I don't really care too much about the gillnets themselves. Like, honestly, if we had enough fish, nobody would give a shit.
No, exactly.
So I would I don't get too lost in the weeds with that because I think that we bitch and cry about it just because, like, well, yeah, I mean, you have a situation like this, but it's like, well, shit, if we just had, actually accountability that the state had to answer to.
I thought the guy,
back,
I saw
better.
a really nice post going on last night. It wasn't nice. It was super entertaining with all the gillnet talk.
Oh, God.
And I thought there was a couple guys in there making very good points about the gillnetters in the Columbia River and basically saying they're absolutely worthless. And I'm going to absolutely agree with every single one of those guys. They're not needed. The fish are not needed. No. We do not need to be taking those fish to fill all these little stupid fish markets across the Northwest. We can get the fish from other places.
Right, and here's one place you can get them. And what a lot of people don't realize, the Columbia River, especially when it comes to Chinook numbers, we're only allowed to impact the run 12%. We're only allowed to catch 12% of the run. Guess who catches 10% and guess who catches 2%? We fight
I can imagine.
Well, the tribes.
Yeah.
The tribes harvest just an insane amount. They harvest way more than the sports. They harvest way more than the lower Columbia River gillnet fishery. And yet, if we need the public to get these fish, there's already a mechanism to harvest those fish and get them into public market through the tribes. So you're right. When it comes to the gillnet fishery on the Columbia River, like, it's there. I get it. I honestly think the Washington Commission didn't do them a favor by basically going back on the Columbia River forms, because I think the next conservation group that drops a bill that's going to get them out, I think it'll succeed, because obviously the states couldn't manage with the Kids Hopper plan. They couldn't manage their way out of a wet paper bag, and so they're not going to give them another chance to do that. I guarantee that. So I think the next conservation group that comes in with the bill, I think will basically eliminate them. And I think that could definitely be forthcoming. But going back to like some of those things that they say, well, I mean, also too, like economically, these gillnet fisheries don't pencil out because they've tried that with the safe areas. And honestly, they only fund 19% of all the safe area funding. Only 19% comes from fish tickets landed. So you don't even have a lot of these gillnetters participating in those fisheries, and yet alone catching enough fish to even sustain them.
That's what I'm saying.
Those monies come from us.
And I'm saying too, a lot of those gillnetters, they're not even making that much money here.
Only six gillnetters. I can't remember what year it was. Only 6 gillnetters actually had over $30,000 in landings in one of the years out of the whole fleet. So and the thing about it is, so it's not right. So it's like, really, what is it? Like, economically, those fish that were caught in the gillnet fleet mean so much more to the sports. Like, when you look at like the value of a fish, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, people don't realize, like, when these, you know, and I don't want to turn this into like a gillnet bashing thing, but it's like, we really need to start like looking at this. If we only have so much resource to go around, and when a fish is killed in a sport fishery versus getting killed in a gillnet fishery, when it carries so much further economically than it does. Like, I mean, the bottom line is, let's be honest. If we have a fishery season, you have sport guys that go out and they don't even kill a fish, but they still participate. They still participate. So like, we don't even have to kill a fish. We don't even have to. We have
all sorts of seasons that are open all the time that we currently fish on that we don't kill them.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, five months of my career is basically centered around catching fish that I can't even kill. I don't even want to kill. So I think you start looking at things like that, and it's like, yeah, but like I said, it's okay. Let's rag on the gillnet. Let's fight for their piece of the pie. Let's get it. But that's great. It's still a small piece. I think, you know, like back in 2014, 2015, when we had tons of fish, nobody gave a blankety blank that they were gillnetting. Nobody cared.
They did though, dude, because when you say we had a ton of fish, yeah, we had a ton of fall Chinook, but they're impacting all these like protected wild steelhead runs.
Right.
Dude, there's other things that they're affecting, and that's what I like. Yeah, if there was a way for them to only go out there and like when they dropped their gillnet, they harvested fall Chinook.
8 1/4 inch mesh. It helps.
Then why don't they do that?
Right. No, they do. They do. Like in the August fisheries, when B runs steelhead around, they use a large mesh net. Yeah, they still do.
There's B1 steelhead right now.
Yep. No, I agree.
Lots of them. You have all sorts of ones returning to the base. All those rivers are getting insane amounts of.
And you look at it too. You look at it too. Like when you talk about a fish being caught in a sport fishery versus being caught in a gillnet, like the bycatch and the mortality rate associated. So, like, let's say we do encounter a steelhead. We do encounter a steelhead in our sport fishery. We basically get applied a 12% or so mortality rate, which is rare, but it still happens. And I'm sure it's rare in the gillnet fishery, but when they impact them, it's a 30+% mortality rate. And that's even with recovery boxes. Like if you want to get into spring fisheries, which we don't want to do.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that now. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, so when it even comes to restrictions as far as bycatch, like we hold all the cards for that as well. So it's a sad state of affairs. Like I said, I don't want to fight over the last 5 fish. I want to make it 5 million, you know, kind of a thing. And I think, you know, if we focus on that, but yeah, I think there's going to be some interesting things happening with that fishery. And like I said, and then going back to what we were talking about with COHO, because that's what we originally were talking about on this podcast. We were talking about COHO.
My bad,
you know,
everyone.
like I said, you have a main stem gillnet fishery below a river that they're not even letting us keep hatchery COHO on because it's that bad. You know, and the state's always worried about PHOS and worried about all this, you know, hatchery surplus escaping and it's like, wait, we can't even keep a hatchery fish, but yet you're going to kill wilds and hatcheries on the main stem 4 days a week. doesn't really make sense.
The other thing is, dude, there's rivers right there too that like have like endangered runs of. I mean, you have the. Those are all like endangered runs of wild coho.
Yep. And now they're gonna get gill netted. A lot
with a super high mortality rate.
Dude, it's
with a super effective 3.5.
I mean, I can name tons.
And what's also really scary about it too is like, so we're sitting here in this high pressure system right now, and then we're kind of waiting for the coho.
They're
those
all
B
just
runs
tagged.
aren't here. Even those fish that Jordan got today, they were pretty
One
blushed
of
up.
them
I'm not calling them B runs.
Yeah.
They don't have the size, and
Yeah.
they're not like they're
And
not
they're already
big B
blushed.
runs. So I still think that what small amount of B run we're getting back so restrictive that we can't even keep hatchery ones in certain rivers. It's not even here yet, and it's going to meet the full the full onslaught of the commercial fishery, which so like I said, what is it, State? Is it so restrictive that is it so small that we can't even keep a hatchery fish, but yet you're gonna go wide open on them?
Yeah.
It's like I said, it contradicts itself almost. It's crazy.
Oh man, we got real depressed here now.
Matt, you wanted to talk about coho, now we're talking about coho, damn it.
Depressed here now. With that being said, what's been going on with hatchery and wild? I know you guys are still doing that economic study, correct?
So we have congressional packets going out now. Next Tuesday, I'm taking out 9 state senators and representatives on a fishing day, where I'm taking half of them in the morning, half of them in the afternoon, and then taking them out for lunch. And then got some other things in the works there, which I can't really lead out to, but there's some other reason why I'm doing that too. So we've got our congressional packs. We're trying to enlighten them and trying to get them focused on when they get into session in January, what they need to be looking out for, and how much these sport fishery means to votes for them and economically to their districts. So we're trying to definitely...
So trying to do the things that need to take place in the back end, everyone out there that's been asking what's going on, there's a lot of stuff going on in the back end, and unfortunately, that's just how it goes. You gotta play these political games to make things happen in anywhere.
And
really.
I think the difference between now and 20 years ago is like we need to start being a little more robust at the legislative level, and I think that's what we're starting to figure out. We're starting to make our connections, and we're starting to make it do, because at the end of the day, and I'll say it, I don't think we can fight the state from the bottom up. I think we just have to basically get a situation where we get laws and policies set in place that just tells the state what to do and for us, because that's the only way we're going to get paid attention to.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. How are you guys liking these short form podcasts? You guys hopefully you're enjoying us keeping them just a little bit shorter. We're planning on kind of continuing that method in like the 25-30 minutes. So make sure you guys let us know, drop some comments, thumbs up the videos, do all that stuff to help us out and let us know what you guys want us to be doing, because that's, I think, what we would like to do. So
Yep.
Thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. We will see you guys and gals on the river.
See you guys.